So I did do something I wasn't gonna do, and I ordered that carbon fiber to try to wrap these mirrors. And I'm not an expert at wrapping anything. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to wrap these. I know I said in my last video that I was gonna get my roof wrapped in carbon fiber. And while I was getting my roof wrapped, I was gonna get these wrapped as well. But I'm gonna go ahead and, since I'm on my days off, we really don't have nothing to do today, I'm gonna go ahead and try to wrap these. If it's too hard and it starts looking crazy, I guess I'll just, I'll pull it off, but I'm gonna attempt to do it. I don't have a heat gun or anything. I'm just gonna use a hair dryer. I've seen it used before. And I'll see how easy these are to wrap. It doesn't look like it's gonna be too hard, but I know everything that looks like it's gonna be easy ends up being super hard. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these cleaned up. You know, I was driving it, you know, I got all kinds of bugs and everything on there. So I'm gonna get these cleaned up, rub some alcohol on them, and go ahead and get started on this wrap, or at least attempt to try to get started on this wrap. All right, I cleaned them all up. All of them, there's only 2 of them. I cleaned them both up, rub some alcohol on them so they're ready to go. And I got my carbon fiber here wrapped, got my hair dryer, which I'm not sure how good it's gonna work. I mean, I've seen people use them before, but I'm gonna go ahead and try it out since I don't have a heat gun. I'm gonna try this out, see how good it works. Got my Dallas Cowboy chair here with everything sitting on it. But we'll see how good this works. Here's the carbon fiber here. See how good that looks. And if it does look good, it comes out great and it's easy to use, then I'll link this. It was cheap. It was like $7 or something like that. But I'll link it in the description below so you guys can find out. Or actually order it if you guys want to try it yourself. But yeah, I mean, that's all I need. I'm going to get this extension cord and get started trying to wrap this. All right. I got my scissors here and my carbon fiber. And I'm going to try to cut off a piece that I think will fit on there. Hopefully it fits. I mean, I didn't, oh yeah, it should be good. So I'll do it like that. But I got more than enough, so I'm going to try to leave like a little room for error, I guess, if I do mess up and I have to stretch it, or for whatever reason it looks weird. I want some space. I mean, I'm not going to use the rest of this for anything else, so I'd say about right there. I'm going to go ahead and cut it. And I'm not worried about the cut being perfect because at the end of the day, it's going to be cut towards the end anyways. So I'm not really worried about that cut being perfect, but that should fit. Does have a little film over it, over the carbon fiber. I guess whenever you install it or before you install it, you can peel that off. I'm not sure if you can see that right there, but it's there. It's like a little film. I don't know if I'm gonna leave that on while I'm doing it so I don't ruin the carbon fiber. I'll show you here in a little bit. I do have some tools for this, but I don't know if I'm gonna leave that on. If it's hard to work with it on, I'll pull it off. But if not, I'll leave it on until I'm done. But that's what we're doing now. Let me grab my tools and then we'll move on. We'll try to get this on there. I folded my mirrors in. I feel like it'll probably be easier to do it when my mirror's folded in. But I do have this and a little blade for cutting. I'm gonna try to keep this off my car. I definitely don't want to scratch my car with this. But there's little grooves here in the mirror that as soon as it's on, if I can find that, I can cut the carbon fiber there, and I can get the blade inside that groove, and I won't cut the paint. So that's what I'm going for. I'm going to try to stick it on there and cut it right here. I'll smooth it out with this, and then I'll get that groove inside that carbon fiber, and I'll cut it there, so I'll never have to touch the paint on the car if it works out good. I'm not an expert at this. This is my first time doing this, so I'm not even sure if it will work out like that, but we'll see. I'm not sure how other wraps feel, or how the super expensive ones feel. I'm not sure if they're real flimsy or, you know, they feel different than this, but this feels tough. I mean, it's not, it almost feels like borderline like type of like cardboard or something like that. I mean, it's not. I know it's the paper underneath it that's holding it on. I know that's pretty tough there. I'm not sure how the movements are, how fluent it is once I peel this off, but as of right now, this feels kind of like it's gonna be hard to work with. But okay, let's see. It's still, I mean, it's still pretty stiff. I'm gonna heat it up, but it's still pretty stiff. Even when you take this paper off here, it's still pretty stiff. But we'll see. I mean, I have nothing to lose. I mean, it costs like $6, $6 or $7. So even if it doesn't go on and it's a complete failure, I'm out $7. So I have nothing to lose. I'm gonna go ahead and try to heat this. I'm gonna stick this on my window and I'm gonna try to heat it up real quick, and then I'll try to put it on. It's definitely tough. You know what? I'm probably gonna take this film, this little film that's on the top here. I'm gonna take this off because you can't even tell. It's hard to tell what's wrinkly and what's not, like what's bubbling up and what's not with this on. But this is what was on there. Yeah, that was on there, and that's making it. It's making it look crazy. So it's definitely, I'm gonna put some heat on it. See what it does there, but it's definitely not. You can definitely see why people make good money doing this, because it is not. Let's see. Yeah, most definitely. That heat does wonders for it. It pretty much turns into plastic, you know, like a plastic bag when you put heat on it. I mean, this whole part here, it was almost impossible to work with. I put some heat on it and it started stretching like, I don't know, like clay or so, you know, it was yeah, it definitely makes it a lot easier to work with. This might not be too hard after all, I don't know. I might have jinxed myself, but we'll find out. I'll be back here in a sec. Let me see if I can work this around the bottom piece. Yeah, and it would definitely help. You know, if you had 2 people working on this, it would definitely help out. It's doable with 1 person, but it'd be a lot easier with 2 people. So this is where we're at so far. And it's looking good. I mean, there's really no bubbles or anything like that. And if you can see that little groove here, that's where I'm gonna cut it. Just to do the shell. I'm not gonna do the whole mirror. I'm just gonna do that shell around here. But it's looking good all the way around except for like right here. Right under here. It's kind of wrinkled up. I mean, this is definitely a hard spot to get. But everything else looks good. I mean, it's pretty much on there. It's pretty much done. But I gotta kind of work this because this looks crazy. Sure if you can see it. Let's focus in. Kind of like here. I gotta put some more heat to that, I guess, and see if I can work those wrinkles out. And after that, it's pretty much done. All I gotta do is cut it and reheat it again, I guess, and that'll be it for this one. I mean, if that's all and I can't get it out that quick, you know, in about 5 minutes or so. It pretty much took from beginning to end on one mirror about 20 minutes. So it doesn't take that long, but we'll see. I can easily have an hour-long job, depending on how fast these come out. So this is where I'm at right here. I already got it cut pretty good here on the line. And now I'm at the bottom. I don't know if you can see this little groove here. That's where the cut line is. So here, I just got to get these wrinkles out here right before that cut line, top part. I mean, it's coming out pretty good. It's definitely not something that's easy, but for the most part, it's coming out pretty good. But kind of jinxed myself because I did say it wasn't a lot of work, but it turned out to be a lot of work. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that out, and then I'm gonna cut it, and we'll see what it comes out looking like when it's all said and done. Okay, so you guys see that right there? On my Lotus. This is my Lotus Evora. So after spending about 30 minutes struggling to wrap this mirror, or actually wrap this mirror, the cover of the mirror, which is here, and I was having a hard time doing it, especially getting right here at the bottom, getting it to wrap around, I realized that it pops right off. You know, it sits like this. And I realized you just get a flathead screwdriver, stick it in there, and pop the mirror, or pop the cover right off the mirror. It's as easy as can be. So I'm sitting here struggling. I said, let me see if this pops off or not. Stuck a flathead in there, has this, and this. You know, snaps right off of that right there. Snaps right on. So now I can take this off, the one I started, and actually I can go in the house, or I can stay out here, whatever, in the garage, and I can wrap it in there and not have to worry about working around the mirror, which is a good thing. So this should make it a lot easier knowing this comes off. So struggling with this for as long as I did, here I am sitting here with my recently removed cap, or cover, I should say mirror cover, and my new sheet of carbon fiber. I did, ridiculous. I did peel that carbon fiber off, that one. I did take it off of here. I'm gonna have to clean this again, but I did take the carbon fiber that I had off of this one, and I'm gonna start over. I'm just gonna start over. I'm gonna use a new sheet and see how it comes out with, and how easy it is with it removed from the car. So I'll get started on that, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. So this is with me working on it for about 5 minutes. So after 5 minutes of working on it, it looks like this, and it definitely looks a lot better than it did with about 45 minutes of me working on it with it on the car. So obviously with it being off the car, it's going to be a lot easier. And with man, the hairdryer is doing wonders. It's not a heat gun, but it's definitely doing wonders, because it pretty much, you put heat on it, it pretty much melts around these corners, and it just falls into place. So I'll say about another 5 minutes, I'll be done. You know, I'll cut what I have on the bottom here, you know, wrapped around. This here, I have it wrapped around and hugging these corners, and I'm just gonna get my blade and cut that off, and tuck it in, make sure it's good, and then I'm gonna pop it back on, and it should look somewhat semi-professional, because you know there's not going to be any wrinkles or any bubbles in it, because obviously it's off the car. So yeah, I got about another 5 minutes, and then I'll pop it back on. I'll show you guys what it looks like once it's back on the car. And I think it came out pretty good. And it took, like I said earlier, it took me 45 minutes to do some raggedy job that I struggled with. When it was on the car, it took me about 10 minutes to do this. You know, all of about 10 minutes to do it. That's not counting, you know, taking the mirror or taking this piece off, which it just snaps right off. The reason I got this carbon fiber is because I watched a video. I'm not sure who it was on YouTube, but they're comparing all the carbon fibers that are out there as far as wraps with the authentic real carbon fiber. And they went through about 10 or so. And the one that matched up and looked pretty much identical to the authentic carbon fiber as far as wraps was this one. And it's a no-name 5B carbon fiber wrap. It's a little bit harder to work with, but it looked pretty much exactly like the real carbon fiber. You know, they were shocked because, of course, out of the bunch, it was the cheapest one. It wasn't 3M. It wasn't any of those. And it looked more like carbon fiber, or actually exactly like real carbon fiber. And the other ones didn't. So this one definitely looks really good. I'm not sure how long it'll last. You know, I'm not sure how long I'll keep it on there, but it looks good. I mean, it definitely came out a lot better than I thought it was. You know, I thought I was gonna do a hack job on it, but it definitely definitely looks nice. You know, I'm glad I went ahead and pulled the trigger and did something like this. So I'll go ahead and knock out the other one, but yeah, this one came out pretty good. And here you go. Here's the finished product. Actually, on the car was the finished product before I cut all the inside out. I didn't record that, but I cut all the excess carbon fiber wrap from the inside of it. I cut it out and just snapped it back on, and it snapped on perfectly fine. See if we can focus in. Yeah, it came out pretty good. Actually, really good. You know, I'm kind of surprised, but it you know, it definitely was hard. It was trying to do it on a car, and I see people doing it on their car all the time. If I hadn't popped this off and found out that this did pop off so easy, and I had to leave it on the car and finish the job, I probably would have just peeled it off and not did it. I probably would have just lost that $7 or whatever it was and just said, you know what, I'm not going to do it. But luckily I did. Before I gave up on it, luckily I did pop that off, or at least attempt to pop that off, and it did come off, because I'm happy with it. I'm definitely happy with it, man. It came out great. And I'm not sitting here trying to toot my own horn or anything like that. Anybody who has carbon fiber or orders this and they pop this off and you have a hair dryer, you'll be able to do it, no problem. I mean, it's not like it takes an expert wrapper to do it. You can do this. Because when you put the heat on it and you lay it on top here and you put the heat on it, it pretty much falls into place on this cover. So, I mean, you just got to do a little bit of stretching and wrapping it around the inside, but it pretty much falls into place. I mean, it's not hard. It doesn't take too long to get the hang of it. And even if you mess up on the inside, like you don't cut everything off, this snaps on. So anything inside of this, you're not going to see it anyways. And even if you mess up on the corners here, like on the edges, there's a little lip on there that pops in and goes in there. So even if it's a little loose in there, this pops on and it seals it anyway. So even if it tries to roll back on you, it's not going to do it, because it's pretty much being smashed in and held in place by this little lip that's in there. So it's kind of foolproof. I mean, on the Evora, I'm not sure any other car if you're trying to wrap your mirror, but actually on the Evora, when you pop this off and you pop it back on, the chances of it rolling back on you are slim, because it's being smashed and held in place by this here. So yeah, it's gonna hold pretty good in there, even if you just do a crap job on wrapping around these edges. Once it smashes in, it locks in place right here. It's not gonna roll back. And you can't even see the crapped out job you did on the edge anyways if you did do a job like that. But it came out good. I'm happy with it. And I'm not sure I'll work with wrapping anything else, because this was hard enough, and I'm not sure how many pieces on this car come off. But I had fun doing this. Once I popped it off, I had fun. I was frustrated before that, but the end result, it was definitely worth it. Definitely worth the time spent. But we'll see how long this lasts. I mean, I'll have it in the sun a little bit. I'll see how, if, you know, $7 carbon fiber can last a couple months and still look good, which mine probably will, because my car's in the garage majority of the time. But You definitely won't be able to tell I did it. You know, you think I had somebody else do it or the car actually came like this. So I'm happy with the job. So I got both mirrors done now. And the second one was faster than the first one. I'd say the second one took me a couple minutes less than this first one that I did once I popped it off. Here's the second one. Came out just as good, as, if not better. I mean, it was actually a lot easier to do because I had already did one. So I kind of knocked this one out faster, and it came out better. Which they're both really good. So I mean, it's hard to say if it came out better or not because they both look good. But yeah, it's see fingerprints on there. I hadn't wiped it down. Let's see. Let's give it a good wipe down. Wipe all those fingerprints off. Get an actual look at what it's supposed to look like when it's clean. There you go. Alright, there we go. There's a line there. No blade other than the inside. And actually I didn't have to use the little card, the little yellow card, you know, for corners and stuff. I didn't have to use that on either one of them. With the hairdryer, it pretty much just melted on there, and I just folded it back, and with anything, there was no bubbles whatsoever. And with any corner, any little wrinkle, I just used my thumb, and it came right out, especially with heat on it. So I didn't even have to use a little card on there to get bubbles out or anything, because I didn't have any bubbles. But yeah, this just snapped right back on like nothing. So I mean, it's on there pretty good. Hopefully it doesn't fall off when I'm driving. No, it snapped on pretty good. Gave it a couple tugs and it's not going anywhere. Yeah, it came out pretty good. Both sides. If I'd have known this from the beginning, when I started, I would say it would have took me with cutting the wrap and everything, it would have took me 30 minutes to do both of them. If I would have known from the beginning that these popped off. So that's a pretty good, quick job on a mirror that, you know, people are charging $200 to do for you if you want them to come to your house and do it. I did it for $6, and knowing that these popped off, $6 in 30 minutes. That's pretty good. So I wrapped both my mirrors, and I still have this little piece left. I'm not sure, I might wrap some inside my car. I don't know what I'll do with it. I might wrap my key or my keys, because I have 2 keys. I might find something inside my car to wrap, I'm not sure. But I'll definitely find a use for this, especially since I kind of got the hang of it a little bit. I'm not saying I can wrap a whole car or anything like that, but I kind of got the hang of it on little things. So I might wrap something in my car. I might pop something off, middle console, I don't know. I might pop something off and wrap it, or I might just use it for my keys. Or I might just save it for later on, I'm not sure yet, but do got this little piece left, so I'll use it eventually.